Story time, folks! I know you guys been asking me for story times. A lot of the OGs, they love story time. Everybody loves story time. Why? Because I got some of the best stories in the world. And I'm not just saying that. I know that, okay? How do I know that? Because growing up, there were a few kids in my neighborhood who were kind of wild, okay? You know, a few things that happened that got me into the car business was a crazy chain of events. And one of the kids that we ran with, he ended up getting out of prison, okay, and writing a book about our lives. And it was a bestseller, all right? I don't know if I want to, shout out his book because there was a few things in the book that weren't exactly the way they went because my memory is on point perfect. And he had a little bit of a creative memory, but whatever. Creative in the fact that, a few of the things that might have went down, he might have made a few people not look as good as they really were. Okay? Maybe ripping a few people. I don't know, being a wise guy. Whatever. Who cares? When your life growing up ends up in a best-selling book, you better believe your stories were good. Okay? Now, how do I put this? There's a lot of story times that I left out because I'm like an old school kind of guy. I think there's a lot of stuff you take to the grave. But if you guys want to hear some of these things, let me know. I don't want anybody looking at me any different. Look, I'll tell you right now, I'll clear it all right. I'll get it really clear right now. I never dealt drugs. I had drugs in my family. Not my direct, it was my direct family. My uncle was a bad heroin addict, and I knew about drugs. I never dealt drugs, okay? I never hurt anything with, nothing to do with anybody underage, nothing. Never hurt women, never killed anybody. Anything else that you could kind of think of, yeah, we were involved, all right? I'll get it, like I said, put it in the comments if you want to hear about story time, because when I tell you story times, when I tell you stuff that went down, okay, just to give you an example, the book that this kid wrote about our lives, Lorraine Bracco from Goodfellas bought the rights to it, okay, for a movie. She bought the movie rights. So she held on to it and didn't really do anything with it. I don't know why it didn't go any further. But here we go. Here's one of the story times. And I'm gonna kind of maybe switch a few of the locations, some of the names. I don't really know if I want to give a shout out on the book at this point because I want the book to be 1,000% accurate. And I'm not saying it wasn't accurate on what happened, but the way things were portrayed, maybe I don't agree with them exactly. But whatever, it is what it is. And I don't know if I want to give a shout out on my channel that'll probably boost more sales because, let's face it, the channel's got some, following at this point. A lot of these story times I did back in the day, what did I have? 100 people, 200 people watching. So now, I got to say to myself, now, let me say this too, okay? I'm a family man. I'm a father. I'm a grandfather. Stuntman's got kids. We're not, you grow up, put this in park. You grow up and realize that what you were doing was not right. I'm not like that anymore. I'm not going to say I'm some, holy roller. I'm just, I know good and I know bad and I choose good. And it's as simple as that. I want my kids to do good. I want everybody around me to do good. With that, let's get into the story time. Okay. This is a whole chapter in one of the books. I mean, it's a whole chapter in the book, not in one of the books, in the book. Pretty much goes like this. Stuntman wants to go, we'll say to the Hamptons, okay? And he's got his girlfriend, and he just jumps in the car, And he goes. And he goes there and he's hanging out all day, blah, 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 blah. And he's, you know, doing his thing, right? So, who plans when you're a kid? At the time, what were we? I think we were probably 19 and 20, okay? And what happened was, he hangs out all day, whatever. He doesn't get a room. He doesn't plan. Who plans? Like I said. So, he goes to a hotel room, like I guess it was a suite. And all the guys from the neighborhood were there. And so, he was, how do you say, like, extremely good looking. And people kind of hated on him for it. And plus, he had me as his older brother, who was fucking, you know, 200 and something pounds of solid muscle, brawling. I didn't give a shit back in it. I just think, if you read the book, you'll see what we were like. We just didn't care. It was like, yeah, whatever. I want it. It's mine. Do something about it. Whatever. It's just the way we were. It's like you see a lot of these guys with these channels now talking about back in the day. And blah, blah. Their stories don't compare. Like we've done things where the toughest guys in the world, their knees were clapping together, you know. And we just, you know, we had balls, man. It's nothing. I don't know, man. We weren't normal. But we're not like that anymore. So you know, I don't want you to think I'm some crazy psycho that you can't trust or whatever. Now, my word is gold. If you gave me $10 million and said hold it for me, in a year, you'd have $10 million when you came knocking on my door for it in a year. Now, so he goes to the Hamptons. He's hanging out. And now he's got nowhere to sleep. So he goes to, you know, the guys from the neighborhood. He goes, hey guys, you know, me and my girl, can we go in there? Like, fuck you, and slam the door. He's like, fuck you. So he gets into words with one of the guys. And they swing it out, right? So, no big deal. He steps off, right? And so now he finds a place to hang out, to sleep. So the next day they're in some club, and the guy that, you know, he swung it out with, that was really being a jerk off. Oh, fuck you, get your own room, blah, 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 blah. That guy steps to him again. So, now Stuntman was never a big guy. He was a good-looking guy. He was a ladies' man, whatever. And that's the way he was. You know, he would go into a bar, boom, everybody it's still like that to this day, believe it or not. And I was always the big guy, you know. I was always this big brother, you know. That's the way our relationship was, you know. And so he swings it out with this guy. And he fucking gives the guy a black eye. This guy's a tough guy from the neighborhood. Now he's got to walk around the Hamptons with a black eye from Little Mooney, because our name's Mooney. He was Little Mooney, I was Big Mooney. That was just the way it was. Little Mooney gave him a black eye. So in the fight, this dude cracks Stuntman's girlfriend in the face. So it was like, so he deserved the black eye. So it is what it is. The weekend ends, they go back to the neighborhood, and I'm minding my business, and I'm hanging out with my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, who I don't even know, she I don't know what the hell she was thinking, because it was one of those kind of things, like I did my thing, I went out, hustled, and whatever, and it was just, you know, I made money, and, you know, she minded her business, but anyway, so I'm hanging out, and he goes, I'm going over to, some club or whatever in the neighborhood. And he says, I'll let you know what happens. Because we knew that it was on, because he was pissed off. And he was telling people, oh, when I see him, I'm fucking him up, blah, blah, blah. So he leaves. 10 minutes later, he's back. Yo, this motherfucker, he swung on me the minute I fucking walked in there, blah, 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 blah. I said, oh my God. Are you fucking kidding me? He goes, no, that motherfucker, blah, blah, blah. I said, immediately I go, that's it. He's getting fucked up. I said, who's there? Everybody's there. And what do you mean? He goes, no, not everybody, but a lot of people there. I said, okay, we're going to go back there, and I'm going to call him outside, But let's get some people together because, you know, the fucking place is packed, you know. So we're looking for people. Nobody's around. It's one of them things, like, it's like a bad dream. Like, nobody's fucking here. So I find one of my guys, one of my friends I was close with in the neighborhood. He jumps in. Then we didn't have anything in the house as far as, you know, weaponry, bats, whatever. So I go to my friend who was into sports. I go, yo, get me a good baseball bat. He comes out, he's like, oh no, he comes out like 10 bats. Stuntman swinging the bats, he's, you know, getting comfortable. And so let's go. Now, by the time we looked for people, by the time we went and got a bat, you know, we just weren't organized, okay? We like ran out of the house. I think my parents were home, so I don't want to go back to the house and get a bat or whatever the case was. What are you doing taking bats out of the house? You know, oh no, I'm just going to go play baseball at 10 o'clock at night. So by the time we go back, the club is packed. Packed. Because I go in the door. And I can't go in there and go, oh, it's packed, let me leave. So I call him outside. He comes outside. Stuntman does what he's got to do. Opens him up. Opens him. Massacre. Like, all over the fucking place. Just works him over hard. And, so now, the whole place empties out. I fucking swing it out with some guy that didn't like what happened. I said, why, you don't like what happened? Come here, motherfucker. Go toe to toe, bang, 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 bang. Then start swinging, boom, clip him. I did good. He was a good fighter. So I pick him up, and I, like, hold him on the roof of my car. I'm like, I got him like a hold. Let me explain something. We're talking about 30 years ago. So nobody was doing jiu-jitsu, MMA, blah, blah. I don't want to get into a fight today because a lot of you guys out there are deadly. You get, like, for example, my sons, they've both been training since they're like 10 years old. These kids are deadly. They'll get you in any kind of hold. They'll sweep your legs. Next thing you know, you're on the ground getting pounded out. I ain't fighting anymore. My days of fighting are over. Back then, if you had a good stance and you knew how to throw some punches and you knew how to sweep, you knew how to like shoot for a guy's legs and dump him and get on top of him, you know, what did we have? We had UFC 1 back then. You know, that's what we were watching. Elbows, headbutts. That's how we used to fight. But anyway, we swing it out, gets broken up, and we leave. Next thing you know, the whole fucking club rats us out. They live over here. They did this. All this. I go, what? Now, my good friends, my crew, my guys that I ran with, nobody talked. And I'll tell you that nobody talked because of the fact that these guys sat in jail, kept their mouth shut. Because that's what a man does. A man keeps his fucking mouth shut. It's just the way it is. Now I got to go on a lamb. I'm a lambist. Me and Stuntman slept at my wife's girlfriend's house. Couple of nights. We couldn't go home until we straightened it out. We had to meet. Oh my God. We had to meet with wise guys because this guy ran to a wise guy. We had to get all wise guy friends to end the beef, so to speak. Oh, what a mess. They dropped, no charges came. Part of the agreement was I had to pay, I don't know, I think $3,500 for the guy's hospital. The dude was in the fucking hospital it was bad for a long time. Touch and go type of situation. I paid his hospital bills and it was squashed. But that's a chapter in the book. But the way he wrote the chapter, it almost looked like Stuntman got abused. Or no, not at all. We weren't out there getting abused. It didn't happen. But why he did that, I don't even know, man. It was kind of like I don't know. But anyway, a little story time. And how did I get into the car business? I got into the car business because I had so much. We were being watched from every letter of the alphabet. Agency was watching us, and I had to go legit This is 30 years ago. I had to say, what am I going to do? I was getting married, you know, and then I had a kid on the way, and I just cleaned up my life, man. And I just learned the car business. And listen, the rest is history. Now, we're the best at what we do in the car business, as you guys see with the cars and the channel, and we're not full of shit, you know? And we're out there like, look, I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to give you guys something for free, just for the neutral droppers. People that watch your channel, because if you don't watch your channel, you're not going to know about it. We have our national car buying network that we partnered up with, okay? We have a toll-free number. You could call that number, and you could sell any car you find. So, we pay top dollar. So what happens is, let me give you a little example of how it could work. Let's say you get in your car and you drive around. You get on your bicycle and you drive. Everybody's got a phone. I don't care if you're 9 years old. So there's no excuses, okay? You go out there and you look up a driveway and you find a car. You go knock on the guy's door. You want to sell your car? Well, it's a junk car. It's got rats living. It's got raccoons living. I don't care what's wrong with it. How much do you want for it? You talk to the, you negotiate a price with the guy. You try to buy the car for $200, $250. And I don't want to hear, oh, everyone's scrapping. Oh, then why do I get so many cars? Why do I get so many cars if there's no cars? Oh, because I'm from New York City? Put me anywhere and I'll get the cars. I don't care. Do you know how much competition's driving around trying to buy cars right now? Everybody and their mother. It's if you're smart and you know how to hustle and you know how to get around and make it happen. That's what we do. So I don't want to hear excuses. Excuses, I don't have time for excuses. You call up now what you do is you tell the guy, oh, $200. Okay, I'll get rid of it, $200, that's fine. Okay, or you can advertise. Put an ad in the paper. Put an ad online. I say paper because I'm in the business so long, that's what I used to do. You go and get the car for $200. You call my number. One of my guys comes down, okay? And he buys the car for $600. You just made $400. Go do that 2-3 times a week. Who's better than you? You don't have any equipment. You don't need anything. You need your phone and my phone number. It's as simple as that. Oh. Free! Go to Used Car Wealth, check it out. It's free. And if you want to really, really make money in the used car business, join the program. We'll show you exactly how it's done. It's a no-brainer. The first car you make, you'll make your money back 10 times over. Like, comment, subscribe. We're going all the way. I know you guys wanted a story time. Put it in the comments if you want to know It was a movie. It should have been a movie. But anyway, our lives as kids, the stuff that I didn't get into. Like, comment, and subscribe. We are out. Story time, folks. You guys, I know you guys wanted it. You got one.